Hello everyone. Today we'll be bringing you a review of the Paper Mate EraserMate ballpoint stick pen, medium point, 1.0 millimeters in black ink. So let's get started. The EraserMate is Paper Mate's main erasable pen. It's essentially just a basic, capped stick pen, black ink, but it has specialized ink that's made to be erased and does come with the eraser on the cap. It's also pressurized ink designed to write at any angle, and we did test that it would write even upside down or against a wall, so that's a pretty good feature. Let's get started on the review. This is non-refillable, so these are disposable pens. A couple of things we'll notice right off the bat. It does write extremely smooth, more so than you would expect for just a very low-cost black stick pen, ballpoint pen. I was impressed with the feel of it. It provides a very good smooth feel as you're writing with it. It's not the most comfortable pen. It doesn't have any kind of comfort grip or anything like that, but it's what you would expect from a standard stick pen. One of the downsides to the ink that you can notice right away, it does not come out very dark. It does flow pretty smoothly in that there's no blotches or blobbing or really anything like that. It's just to get any real kind of a bold dark lines on the paper, you kind of have to use a little bit more force, which is going to put a bit of a strain on your hand. We see very minor skipping here and there. Not too much. But on occasion we tend to get just a little bit of skippage in the lines as we're writing. Barely noticeable, to tell you the truth. The cap here is good, has the eraser on top. The clip is just plastic, so it's a little bit cheaper. You do have to be somewhat careful with it. It's not easy to break, but if you put too much strain on it, it will break. So let's try with the erasing. If we just write very lightly. Just write medium now. Now we'll really write bold. It does erase pretty smoothly too. It's not the eraser isn't too coarse as some older ink erasers would be. Some of the older ones, if you rub too hard, it would pretty much rub straight through the paper. That's not going to be the case with this one. It feels, close to a pencil eraser. Very smooth. So let's see. Quality of the erasing is good. As you can see, the lighter lines erase a little bit better than the darker lines. You're still going to be able to see it a little bit, what you wrote. Since it is ink, we're not going to be able to get it to completely disappear. But it's not too bad. It's not going to really show through, especially if you write over it. You're not going to be able to see too much of what you actually left on there. I would recommend, even though you can, press down harder to get darker, bolder lines on the paper, I would recommend not doing that. Because if you do need to erase, as you can see, the bolder lines we made in there did not erase as well and kind of interfered with the text you wrote over it. Whereas if you just wrote pretty much a standard, pressed normally or even pressed lightly onto the paper, it erased much better and it didn't kind of interfere with anything you would write after that. Let's try erasing some of these lines we wrote beforehand. As you can see, much of the same. They'll disappear, but not completely. See how this pen did in a little bit longer long-term test. Again, still very consistent with the writing, very smooth, not the darkest ink on the paper, not going to be very bold lines, but it's not so light that you can't read it. As for the erasing, again, like we said, the darker you pressed, which would be here and here, kind of showed up the most, whereas the lighter ones had the best success erasing. So for this, I would recommend, if you're going to use it, make sure you press down. You don't have to press down lightly, but don't really press down on the paper. If you're looking for, dark, bold lines, I would suggest going with another pen, and certainly one that's not erasable. Unfortunately, if you want the best of both worlds, it's pretty hard to get. You can't get the extremely dark text and be able to erase completely. But for what this pen does, I'd say it does it very well. It's very low cost, disposable, writes smooth. You get almost no smearing, despite the fact that it's erasable ink. It pretty much depends on how hard you push on it. As long as you don't kind of force your finger onto it, the smearing is going to be little to nothing. If you push harder, then it will smear. I mean, that's kind of what you expect from an erasable ink. But any kind of accidental touches pretty much aren't going to do anything to the ink. So there we go. All in all, for a low-cost erasable pen, it performs very well, and I would highly recommend it. Thanks for watching.